Hi everyone, in this video we are going to see how to export data into Excel format from BC, that is exporting from BC to Excel. Before we proceed, I'd like to tell you that this is my GitHub page where I'll be uploading all the source codes whichever I'm discussing in the video. So you can find it here, and this is my blog. Here I'll be uploading the detailed instructions on how to do anything, like how to do the reports, how to create a report builders, tables and everything. I'll be updating this twice or thrice a month, so you can watch this. If you click on any one blog, you will get this page. If you wanted to send me an email, so you can use this contact form to send the email. Please follow my blog if you really liked it. And this is my playlist. Okay, so this is the YouTube playlist where I am uploading all the Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central related videos here. So you can see, so every week twice or thrice a week I'll be updating this playlist. So keep watching. If you haven't subscribed it, subscribe it, give a like if you really like this video, and share it with your friends so that everyone will be get benefited. If you want to thank me, so you can use this option, super thanks. So in the previous video I have discussed about how to import Excel data to BC, and here we are going to learn about how to export data from BC to Excel. So for that, I have already created a table. Okay, this is the table which I have created here. So these are all the table columns, and this is a page. Okay, so this page where I'm going to add one more action to export to Excel. Okay, this is my first action, that is import to BC, and this is the second action, this is to export to Excel. Okay, so uh, that is to export to Excel. What we have to do is, like, we have three important thing we have to do. One is that we have to tell what are the columns we have, what are the columns do we have, and the second thing is we have to tell what are the entries we wanted in that particular column. The third thing is what we have to tell, what is the sheet we wanted there to be created, and in which, like, all about the workbooks whichever we are going to do. Okay, so for that I'll be creating a procedure. So I'll be writing a procedure called export Excel entries. So here if you just scroll down, you can see export Excel entry procedure. Okay, so this is the export Excel entry procedure. I have already written the code in order to reduce the timing. So you can see here, this is export Excel entries, and this is a variable which we have created, whereas I'm just storing this complete record into the variable. Okay, because we have to import the complete data, that is a column. So even you can select whatever the columns you wanted to import, that is all about your wish, but anyhow we have to store all the records, that is store the table, that is a record, to the particular variable. And then I have created three variables. One is I will be creating an Excel buffer um, as a temporary one, and I have stored it as an temp Excel buffer. And this is two labels, that is GS Excel entries and GS Excel entry, with two value I'll be passing. So let me just quickly open the Excel buffer data, that is a table here, in order to show you from what are all the procedures which I have taken and why it is so useful, everything. So here you can see that this is, once you begin, we'll be writing the reset, and if you wanted to delete all existing one, you can delete it, or else you can leave it if you don't want to delete it, and temp new row. Okay, we are going to start it from the new row, and you can find all these method. Okay, this new row is a method which you can find it in this Excel buffer table. This is a base table. Okay, so x new row, if you just type new row, you can see that new row is a inbuilt function in Excel buffer. Delete all is an inbuilt function. So this is the variable where I am storing this Excel buffer data, and if you just call this, you can access the procedure. Okay, and temp excel buffer add column. Add column is also a procedure in um, excel buffer, where you have to pass these values. Okay, value is formula. If you have any formula, you can pass this. Comment text, if you wanted to pass the comment text, you can pass it. Is bold, is italics, is underline, number format, cell type. Okay, what is the type of a cell you wanted to add it? So this is what we have called it here. So add column is a procedure, inbuilt procedure in excel buffer, where you can, if you just hover over that add column, you can see here you have to pass all these things. Okay, the all these things are mandatory. However, if you don't wanted to use something, so you can simply leave it as a single quotes, like this, open and close single quotes. So in this add column, I have created the value. This is the value, that is gsexcel dot field caption. This is my column name in my table. You can see that in my table, this is the column name. Okay, and other than that, is formula. I don't have any formula, so that is a boolean. I have written like false. Okay, comment text, I don't want to pass any comment text, so it is an open and close bracket, open and close single, open and close single closed single quotes. Okay, and text is bold, no, so I have made it false. If you wanted to make it bold, you can make it true. Is italics, if you wanted to make it italic, make it true here. Okay, is bold, is italic, is underline. Okay, and then what is the last one? A num format, if you want to write a num format, or else finally you have to call the cell type. So what is a cell type? It's a temporary buffer, and it's a text. Why I'm making it as text? Because on the top of the row it will be text. Okay, everything will be text, right? There is a column name. So we have to write this for what are all the mandatory column you wanted to retrieve from excel. Okay, this is the complete thing. And the next thing is what you have to bring up the entries, okay, which are there in the bc data. So for that you have to write it in a for loop, or else you have to loop it. Okay, that is what, either you have to use repeat until, or you have to use. So I am just writing the condition, if gsexcel.find set, that is any data, then it has to create a new row here, another row, next row. Okay, and temp excel buffer add column. So other than that, everything is same. Okay, where here in the gs excel field caption, I have mentioned that this is a caption for that particular field, whereas this is not the caption, this is my entry. So I have written like gs excel dot product number. Okay, other than that, all the necessary arguments you have to pass, you can pass it whatever it is mentioned as boolean, you can make it as false. Okay, and you can write everything whatever is possible. And finally, you have to, here you have to specifically mention, if it is a text, you have to mention it as a text. If it is a date, you have to mention is a date. If it is number, you can mention it as a number, like what type it is. Okay, other than that, everything is same. Like gsexcel dot field caption, you should not use the field caption here, because you are going to bring up the entries, that is a record into it, not the heading, that is a column heading. Okay, so this is what this complete thing you wanted to do. And then until, okay, until gsx dot next is equal to 0, that is until it finds the last line. So your if condition over. So here, as I told, here we have created the column, and here we have imported the entries, sorry, exported the entries. And this is all about your formatting the excel file and excel workbook, how it should work, how it should be. Okay, so temp excel bot create new book, it has to create a new book. Okay, so if you just press control and space, you can see what are all the available options over there. So if you want to clear a new row, close book, convert datetime to XML, copy sheet, create book and open Excel, create new book, create range. So you have various methods for that. All the methods are available in this Excel buffer. Okay, you can find it here. Excel buffer is a base object. Okay, so create book, you have to create a new book, so I'm writing create a book. So and next line is what, write sheet, you have to write it into the sheet. What is the sheet? So if you just hover over the sheet, you can tell that what is the report header, what is the company name too, and user id too. So you can see that how your write sheet should be. should be GSN entry label 1. So what is our label 1? Okay, this is the label 1, GS Excel entries. Okay, we are creating the worksheet in this manner. And what is the company name? Okay, I have given the so no company name, so this is by default. So company name, you can just write it company name, comma user ID. Okay, user ID, it will fetch the user ID based on the user account. And then temporary Excel buffer dot close book. Once it is fine, you can close the book once it is once it is completed. Then you have to save it, right? So temp Excel buffer that send friendly file name. So if you wanted to set a specific file name for your entry Excel book, for example, if it has to store it as download it as with some format, like if you wanted to download it with along with the Excel file name, this is the Excel file name which I have given. Okay, this is the Excel file name, a GS Excel entry. Okay, or else if you wanted to give some other GS Excel entry, it will store along with the current date and time and user ID. Okay, so if you just if you wanted some other thing like user security ID, last row. Okay, you wanted to make it as an uppercase, everything is fine. These are all the string manipulation, like string substring, str number. Okay, and this is a function, this is a string function we have. So this you we'll be learning about all the string functions in upcoming videos, so you can find it here. This, if you once just hover over this particular method, you can see you have to pass for sure you have to pass one string, and then you can pass multiple values as a optional one. And then finally temp excel dot open excel, that's it. So here we are exporting the data from BC to Excel. Okay, BC to Excel. Whereas I have already discussed about importing data from Excel to BC. Okay, so if you wanted to also elaborate this, please let me know. I have already elaborated this in a previous video. You can go and check it that. Okay, it is also I have I'll be creating a blog for this as well. You can find the complete information over there. So let us execute this. So before you execute, you have to write an action button, you have to create an action button, export to Excel. And then in the export to Excel, you have to call it and you have to pass the record. Okay, you will be passing the record because this export Excel entry is having one parameter. Okay, then definitely you have to pass a record into it. So let us save, and I'm just executing it. Let us wait for its execution and see. Here let me just show you first. Let me import the data. Okay, so okay, this the data is imported here, which I have already explained in the previous video. Let me export the same data. Okay, you can see here you have export to Excel. So click here, export to Excel. So it will show you here, you can see the GS Excel entries. Okay, this is what we have told, Excel entries. So you can see here that GS Excel entry, how you wanted to store it. Got it? So we have written that here should be GS Excel entry. Okay, and 11522 p.m. and this is my user ID. So what is the date and time? Okay, so it is storing the uh, it is storing 1120, that is 11. Okay, 11 is the month, 25 is the date, and 22 is the year. So it is storing the current date and time, and along with the user ID. So you can see here GMS is the user ID, and everything this is the time. Okay, 0445 p.m. Okay, so once if you click here, you can see that is the option is downloaded. Let me just open this and see how it has stored. Okay, so this is how your thing works. So here you can see this is GS Excel entry, this is what your sheet name. Okay, so how I want my sheet name to be, so this is my create a new book, where I have told like GS Excel entry should be my new book. So GS Excel entry is what my sheet name here. Okay, so here you can see that complete data is imported here, and accordingly, so what is the sheet? I hope you all can understand what is the sheet name and the file name. Okay, this is the sheet name how you want it, and this is the file name how you wanted to write it. Okay, and here we have mentioned like how it should be, how it has to download it. Okay, so this is how you can export the data from Business Central to Excel. If you have any doubt, please post it. You can try with the CSV buffer. So I have already tried how to export from BC as a CSV file. Okay, but where I end up with various difficulties over there. So the problem is what, there is no enough functions for BC. So, sorry, enough functions for CSV buffer. Okay, you can just to see here CSV buffer, the available functions are very less in CSV buffer. I'm just looking for an alternate. Okay, insert entry, this is to insert an entry into the BC, and most of the other procedures are on prem, so we cannot use it. And load data from stream, in the sense from file to, you have to load it to the BC. So I completely checked all the procedures. Might be I might have missed something. If you find any solution for CSV buffer, I'm keep on trying. If you find any CSV buffer, export, okay, from BC to a CSV file format into your local drive. If you come to know, please let me know. Or else even I'll be searching. I can once if I get a solution, I can definitely post it to you. So the next week, okay, that is coming week, we'll be discussing about report customization, how to extend the report, that is report extension, and all about the reports. We'll just complete the reports and we will just move on to events and subscribers, how we can use the subscriber events and everything in Business Central. Thank you, take care, bye bye.